Record. Welcome everybody to Reach and Read. My name is Katie and I work at the Sacramento Public Library where books are just the beginning. We're so happy to have you here. We're happy to have local yoga instructor Kat Sun with us today, and we'll get to her in just a moment, but first I wanted to mention a few things. So first is just some housekeeping. We are doing this in a webinar format, so that means that all participant microphones and video have been disabled. But if you have a question or a comment that you'd like to share, you can feel free to use the Q&A function that you'll find at the bottom of your screen, and either myself or Kat will get back to you. If you're having any audio related issues, please exit the program and re-enter. We find that doing that will typically solve that issue. If you need closed captioning at any point during the program, please click the live transcript button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that button, wait just a moment, and then you'll see the closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And also this program is being recorded and will be shared to the virtual yoga playlist that's on our YouTube channel. And in case you haven't been to our YouTube channel before, you can find us under Sacramento Public Library. And make sure to stick around after the yoga demonstration for a short book recommendation based on this week's theme. And also I wanted to share that we have some other health resources available at the Sacramento Public Library. Right now we're doing virtual Zumba on Mondays at 5:30 and virtual Zumba Gold on Wednesdays at 4. And Zumba Gold is great for beginners and older adults to join. So in case you haven't done it before, that's a great one to start with. And of course, you can check out a book about the benefits of exercise, mindfulness, and yoga from the library collection. So with that, I'll go ahead and say thank you and turn things over to Kat. So Kat, take it away, and everyone please enjoy.
Great. Thanks so much, Katie. And hi, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. So we are still working on this theme of self-care. Today is the last session of the series, and today's focus is on self-love. So with that, we will get started. And of course, I'm offering this from home, so please excuse any extraneous sounds you might hear in my surroundings. Okay, so with that, we're gonna start as usual on our back. So before we lay down, though, let me just review what you might want to have on hand. So I've got a blanket that I've laid long on my mat so that you can kind of slide and glide a little easier. I've got a couple of yoga blocks, a yoga strap, and I'm actually gonna grab another blanket, or you can grab a cushion or something, basically just for a little pillow for your head. Okay, so, and you guys know, if you're at home and you don't have all of that proppage, definitely some kind of a blanket and cushion that you've got at home. If you don't have yoga blocks, it's okay. Sometimes using a rolled up towel might work. For the strap, you can use the belt or a dog leash or a necktie, anything to help extend the reach. Okay, and so with that, we're gonna come onto our backs. We just want to arrive onto your back and feel comfortable. So make sure you've got a little bit of lift underneath your head, nothing too high, and then just lay long. Now, if it's okay for your legs to be long like this, then great. If that's not good for your back, then bend the knees and plant the feet on the floor. You can even walk your feet a little bit wider apart from each other and then let your knees knock in to support each other. And that just helps release the back a little bit, okay? So if that's better for your back, then starting with your knees bent like this. Otherwise, you can also have your legs straight if you prefer. And then just taking a moment to arrive so your arms can be resting at the sides, on the floor with your palms up. But you guys know, if your hands are kind of hovering off the floor like this, then you can always turn your palms down and just place your hands onto your body. And then as you arrive, let's gently close our eyes. If you've got glasses on and you don't need them, you can take them off right now. Put them somewhere safe if you are taking them off your face. And you can either gently close your eyes or at least soften the gaze. Just feel your body now in this horizontal plane. Notice where your body's making contact with the support of the earth underneath you. Just feel where you're contacting the floor. And then allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper into the support. So let's take a nice breath in through the nose. And we clear it out through the mouth. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhaling, big, big, big inhale in. And as you exhale, go ahead and make that ha sound of the heart. Ah. And one more time. Inhale all the way deep into the low belly. It's my dad, sorry. And exhale it out. And as you let that last bit of exhale out, just allow yourself to sink a little bit more into the earth. Just surrendering your weight with gravity into the earth. And then take a moment now to open your mouth and let's just wiggle out the jaw. And stretch out your face, stretch out your tongue. And then as you allow your mouth to close, just keep your lips nice and soft. And start to soften your tongue. Soften the front of the throat towards the back of the throat. Relax the muscles of the face, around the eyes. And let's all go ahead now and bring our hands onto our heart center. So right at the chest, between the breasts there, at the sternum. And now just take a moment to breathe in and out and feel the heart center. You can feel the warmth of your hands at the heart center. Now just tune in inwards. What does it mean for you? What does self-love mean for you? What does that look like? Perhaps it's showing up like you are right here, right now for your yoga practice, your own self-care, carving space and time out of your schedule to take care of yourself, spend time with yourself, tune into yourself, feel and breathe into your physical body, your breath body, and your mental emotional body. Just really checking in, cultivating that sense of inner listening. And then from here, we're gonna all bend our knees. Everybody, if your legs are straight, let's all bend the knees. We'll open our arms out wide into that T with the palms facing up. And from here, as you take an inhale, your head's in neutral. As you exhale, you're gonna spin your head to the right and keep the left shoulder, left arm, left hand heavy. Keep reaching that left hand away as you keep spinning your head to the right. And breathe into whatever sensations you might feel coursing down the side of the neck, across the left chest, down into that arm, maybe all the way into the palm of the hand, into the fingertips. Just breathe into the space of the chest and the length of the arm, all the way to the tips of the fingertips. And bring it back through center. And again, as you exhale, spinning your head now to the left, let your right arm, right shoulder, right hand stay heavy. And reach that right hand away from you a little bit as you continue to spin the head to the left. And now feel the sensations, maybe down the right side of the neck, going across the right chest, down into that right arm, all the way into the palm of the hand, out into the fingertips. Notice where you feel that. And we bring it back to neutral. As we exhale, head to the right, knees are gonna now drop to the left. And nice and easy, we're gonna oscillate side to side, inhaling through neutral, exhaling other direction. So take it nice and slow. Head and knees are moving in opposite directions. You're in control of how far you take the knees, how far you turn the head. A slight twist and a slight arch through the low back. So just tuning in and seeing how this gentle movement feels in your body this morning. You can really slow it down with your eyes closed and feel the movement in the body. If it feels good to pause on one side, feel free to do so and take a few rounds of breath. If you are pausing, just make sure you also Take it over to the other side. And then we inhale back to neutral here. From here, we're going to hug our knees into our chest, and we're just going to rock a little side to side, breathing into that low back, those outer hips. So starting gentle as we bring movement into the body. And then as always, we'll go ahead and keep the knees together now as we circle them in the air. So just massaging that low back and sacral area. You guys know we're going to circle it nice and slow. You can make that circle of the knees in the air as small or as big as you like, but do slow it down and really focus on feeling at the low back sacral area. Make sure you're still breathing, not holding your breath. Just nice, even, rhythmic breaths. And then whenever you're ready, you switch the circling of the knees in the opposite direction. Keeping your mouth soft, your tongue soft, your eyes soft. Okay, and next time we bring it back to center, we're gonna hang on to each knee and we're gonna circle the knees now to mirror each other. So we send the knees away and then we open them wide. Keep them wide as you hug them in towards your armpits and then back to the center. So like that, now the knees, they mirror one another and we're bringing that movement into our hip sockets. So you can keep your hands on your knees if you like. And whenever you're ready, we circle it in the opposite direction. Okay, and then next time your knees come in, let's hug them into the armpits. So away from the chest, out to the sides, nice and wide, and then just hug them in and rock a little side to side. From here, we're gonna circle the feet around the ankle. So let all 10 toes point up, out, down, and in. Like that, they mirror each other as we circle the feet around the ankles. And then circle it the other way. And just notice, does one side move differently from the other? What's your range of motion here? Is it easier to turn the feet in a certain direction versus another? All right. And then just point and flex the feet a few times here. We're going to hug the knees into the chest again, rock a little side to side. For those who like, you can take happy baby, soles of the feet point up to the sky, knees into the armpits, and gently rock a little side to side here. So for some though, to reach, sometimes you see people reaching for their feet and their shoulders off the floor, the back of the neck's crunched, and the chin's jutting way up above the forehead. If this is you, slide your hands down the leg so you can clasp anywhere you can. So your shoulder blades stay on the floor, back of the neck is nice and long, and the chin and forehead are about the same level, or chin slightly lower than the forehead. And then just rock a little side to side wherever you're at with this. From here, we're gonna bring the feet down onto the floor. And we're going to go ahead and cross the right ankle past the left knee, flex the right foot, and we're sliding the right hand into the hole between the legs and we're clasping behind the left thigh. So you guys know if this is not an easy clasp, this is where you might want to use your belt, your strap. And you just slide it behind that left thigh, and then that right hand holds the strap on the inside, the left hand holds it on the outside, and you can use the strap to bring the left knee in towards you. Now keep your right foot flexed. Keep pressing out through the ball of the big toe and inner heel of that right foot as you send the right knee away from you. And then breathe into that outer right hip. Again, open your mouth, wiggle out your jaw a little. Stretch out your face. And stay with your breath. From here, you're just gonna hold both sides of the strap or with the left hand, or if you're not using the strap, just left hand on the back of the left thigh. We're gonna open the right arm out to the right, palm up. And we're just gonna use the left hand now to slide the left knee to the left, maybe just an inch or two. It doesn't need to move far, but as that left knee slides towards the right a little bit, it takes the right foot with it. And one more time. And then back to neutral. And we'll bring the foot down. Okay, and then we're just gonna uncross that ankle, plant the right foot down. And now take your left foot and cross your left ankle past your right knee, flex your left foot. And again, you're pressing out through the inner heel and ball of the big toe of that left leg. You're taking your left hand into the hole between the legs, lifting the right foot now and clasping behind that right thigh or using your strap, right? And then using either the hands or the strap around the back of the right thigh, you can hug the right knee in towards you a little bit and keep sending your left knee away from you and breathing into that outer left hip. From here, we're going to hold either both sides of the strap in the right hand or just the right hand behind the thigh. Open your left arm out to the left with the palm up. And then when you're ready, start to slide the right knee to the right, just an inch or two, not big movement, very subtle. And then bring it back to neutral. And again, just pulse in and out of that a few times. Okay, and then bring it back to center. And we'll go ahead and release that foot down and across the thigh. From here, let's let both legs go long on the floor and hands by the side. We're just going to roll to the outer edge of the right foot as we slide the right foot up towards the inner groin so the right knee starts to open out to the side. And then we just let the leg lengthen long again. And then you roll to the outer edge of the left foot and slide the foot up. So the knee points out and then slide it away. Back to the right side, outer edge of the right foot, slide it up. And this time you're going to roll onto the sole of the foot and let the knee swing in. So you roll to the inner edge of the foot and then roll the knee back out. And along the outer edge of the foot, slide the leg long. Outer edge of your left foot, slide the foot up, knee points out. Roll onto the sole of the foot, knees up. And then roll to the inner edge of the foot, the knee crosses the midline. Go ahead and let the knee roll back out, outer edge of the foot again, and slide the leg long. Back to our first side, outer edge of the right foot, slide the foot up, roll onto the sole of the foot, the knee swings in. This time, you're going to press to the inner edge of the foot as you lift the right hip and roll towards the left. Keep your right shoulder heavy now, so just the right hip lifts as you turn towards the left, and then you unwind out of that. And again, just pulse into that again. So in swing the knee, press to the inner edge of the foot, lifting the right hip a little bit. Keep the right shoulder heavy. And unwind. And one more time. Make sure you're breathing. And this time as you come back onto your back, roll to the inner edge of the foot so the knee swings in. Stay on the inner edge of the foot as you straighten the leg. And then let the foot roll out. Outer edge of the left foot, slide it up. Roll onto the sole of the foot. In swing the knee. Inner edge of the left foot now. Press into the inner edge of the left foot and lift the left hip, rolling towards the right. Now left shoulder stays heavy. And then unwind out of that. And again, just in swing the knee, sending that left hip up into the right a little. And unwind. And one more time. And then next time you come onto your back, in swing the knee again, stay on the inner edge of the foot, slide the foot away, and roll the foot out. Okay, from here, we're going to roll over to our right side. So you can let your arm come underneath your blanket or your pillow so that right arm is long, palm is down. If you'd like to have an extra something, you can have the blanket over the arm for a little extra pillow. And then now your right leg is long on the floor. Outer edge of the foot is down. Your top leg, your right leg, you're going to bend that knee and plant it on the floor behind you. And then from here, we're going to bring our left hand on the floor in front of us, and that's just going to be like a kickstand. So the left leg and the left arm are both bent. The right leg and the right arm are both straight. And here you should feel pretty stable. Okay, so from here, we're gonna bend that bottom right leg now. We're gonna bend that right knee and bring the knee in line with the hip. And then just slide it long. And again, bend the knees, slide it up, and slide it long. Okay, one more time, just like that. And slide it long. Now, as your right leg is long, flex the right foot, right? Activate the leg. And now you're going to lift up from the inner ankle, like I'm there pushing your inner ankle down. And you're going to press against that imaginary resistance to lift the foot up. It doesn't have to come super high, maybe 6 to 12 inches, and then bring it back down. And then again, when you're ready, lifting up from the inner ankle, inner thigh, and slowly, with resistance, bring it down. So give yourself a little resistance. Moving up as well as moving down. As you bring it down, it's like you're pushing into a balloon underneath the ankle. Okay, now you're going to again bend the right knee, slide it up, and then straighten that right leg and flex the foot and lift up through the inner ankle. Again, bring it down, slide the knee up, and then straighten the leg and lift the ankle. Just one more time, bring it down, bend the knee, lengthen it long, and lifting through the ankle. All right. Now as the ankle comes down, excuse me, we're going to take this left hand and we're going to come onto the fingertips so the palm of the hand's domed off the floor. Okay, so before you go anywhere, now notice where your left knee is, that knee that's pointing up to the sky. Do your best to keep the knee where it is. So the knee and the hip kind of stay where they are. And you're just going to torque through the torso. So fingertips on the floor, stretch the arms straight out in front of you. And now keep that knee where it is. You're just going to start to slide the hand away from you as you turn towards the floor with your face. And then bring it back to neutral. So you might first start by exhaling into this pose and then inhaling to unwind. Once you get that, see what it feels like to inhale as you torque through the torso and you exhale to unwind. It'll be maybe a little more challenging to inhale into it, but notice the sensation through here we're torquing through the diaphragm, the ribs, the lungs a bit. So just notice how it feels to inhale into that and exhale out. And then if you're ready, the next time you come into it, you can even pause in the torsion and breathe a few rounds of breath here. If that's not appropriate, then wind yourself in and out instead. And again, you're in control of how deep you torque into this, so listen to the wisdom of your body. And then we come on out. All right. Now from here, we're going to take this hand and reach it up overhead. So towards the top of the mat. And now your bottom right hand is going to clasp the left wrist. And you can use the right hand to really lift that left wrist up and away. But now slide your shoulder blade down. So you're sliding that left shoulder blade down as you use your right hand to lift up through the wrist and get nice and long through that left seam. Now, as you exhale, again, turn so the knee stays where it is. You're just turning your face towards the floor. And then you unwind. And then again, once you find that, maybe you inhale into the torsion and you exhale out. Okay, and then we bring it back to neutral here. Now you're going to take your top right arm out from underneath and slide it out to the side. So now the right arm's straight out and you still got your blanket as a pillow. If you need to change the height of the blanket, make it so it's comfortable and your neck's not like overly kinked. Okay, so now the right arm's straight out. We're going to take our left hand and bring it on top of the right. Actually, now you're going to bend the bottom knee. So bend your right knee. And now you're going to bring your left knee on top of your right knee. So we're just going to come here. So left knee on top of right, both knees bent, knee up to hip height, and then left hand on right hand. You're going to slide your left hand away from you, again, to turn towards the floor. And now as you inhale, you slide that left hand along the inseam of the right arm, going across your chest, and then you open it all the way out. And then as you exhale, sweep the dome of the sky and close that book. Slide the hand away. Again, inhale, slide it across the inner line of the arm, across the chest, open it out. And exhale, go ahead and close the book. Slide the hand away, turn towards the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, open, and exhaling, close. Okay, so for some of us, maybe this is a little more challenging. You're going to keep it in this kind of dynamic, and maybe every time you open back behind you, you can open it a little bit more. It can be a big twist here, right, in the spine. So you're going to listen to your body. For those who are able to keep the arm open and the palm facing up and the shoulder open, then you might want to pause here in this twist. So your both arms are open out to a T, palms up, both back of the hands on the floor if that's available. If that's not available, then keep it dynamic and you're working on slowly, slowly opening into the twist. If you're able to be here with both hands on the floor in this twist, then take a breath here. Then if you're still open, let's all go ahead, sweep the hand through the sky and close the book. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch over back onto our back. Take a moment, stretch out your legs and just notice the effects. Feel how that feels in your body. If one side feels different from the other, maybe there's some energy moving, but just tune in. And then we're gonna be coming into the second side, y'all know. So I'm flipping around so I can still face you, but you can just turn around on your mat if you prefer. So we're coming onto the left side. So again, left arm now is nice and long, palm down, and then you can take your blanket pillow thing over that arm. So you got a little more pillow for your head. Left leg is long, left foot is flexed, and the right hand now is gonna be that kickstand supporting me in the front. And I'm gonna bend my top right leg now and put the right foot behind me. So the right foot is on the floor behind the left thigh and the right knee's pointing up to the sky. Left hand's on the floor in front of me with the left. So right elbow, right knee, right elbow, right knee are on top and they're both bent. Left leg, left arm are straight underneath. Okay, so we're gonna start here. And now we're gonna bend that bottom left knee, sliding the knee up in line with the hip. And then we straighten the leg. And again, bend the knee. And slide the foot away. One more time, just like that. Slide the foot away. Now, with the leg straight, flexing through that foot, you're gonna pretend like I'm there, pushing your ankle down, and you resist that as you lift up through the inner ankle, inner thigh. And then like there's a balloon and you're pressing down into the balloon to slowly bring the foot back down. Again, let's just lift up through the inner line and slowly bring it back down. One more time. Bring it down. Now we're gonna bend that knee again, slide it up hip height. And then straighten the leg, flex the foot and lift up through the inner line. Bring it back down. Bend the knee. Yeah, here comes my cat. Straighten the leg and lift up through the inner line. Back down one more time. And again, make sure you're breathing. So when we do things maybe that are a little challenging, do we tend to hold our breath? When you notice that, then breathe and maybe back off a little bit if you need. Okay, now from here, that left leg is back down, foot is flexed, leg is straight. Right knee is still pointing up. We're going to take the right hand, fingertips on the floor, palm of the hand is domed off the floor. And then keeping your knee and your hip where they are, just sliding the hand away to torque through the diaphragm, the ribs, the lungs, and then you slide on out. So again, maybe you start by exhaling to slide it away, inhaling to release. Once you find that, though, see what it feels like to inhale into the movement and exhaling to unwind out of it. And once you feel like you've got that, then maybe you can pause in the torsion a few rounds of breath and to see what does it feel like to breathe here. And then we unwind. From here, we're going to take that right hand and reach it up overhead, clasping the right wrist with the bottom left hand. Shrug your right shoulder blade down the back, keep it down the back, and then use your left hand to slide that wrist up and away from you. Good. So get nice and long now through that side. And then again, when you're ready, start to turn yourself towards the floor and back through center. And again, turning just the torso towards the floor and bring it back to neutral. One more time. And here we are. Okay, and then we'll release that. And let's come back onto our backs. Like, did I miss something? Is there another piece to that? If there was, I'm sorry. Okay, hopefully not. All right, so let's find ourselves back on our back. Take a beat here. Oh, I know what we did. Yeah. So now we're going to roll back to the left side. Both knees bent. So again, change the height of your blanket for your pillow under your head if you need. So now left arm straight out from the shoulder, palm up, right hand on top of that. So now knee on knee and palm on palm. We're going to start to slide the top right hand away from us a little bit, turning your torso towards the floor. And then as you inhale, slide the hand along the inseam of the arm across the chest and open the arm all the way out. As you exhale, sweep the hand through the sky, closing the book, slide the hand away. Again, inhaling, sliding it across, opening the heart. And exhaling, closing that book. So, doing that one more time, like that. As we exhale, we close. Now again, for some of us, we might be staying with this movement, this dynamic movement. For others, maybe the next time we open, we find we can just pause here. So again, if your back arm is able to rest on the floor and that shoulder stays on the floor, palm up, and you got a nice broad opening here, then maybe you work with staying in the twist. But if that's not happening for you, then keep it dynamic and just continue to, every time you open back, maybe there's a little more room, a little more opening, right? But so you're trying to avoid, so if your back palm is spinning down, it closes the shoulder. Then you want to avoid that. So keep the palm facing up, and maybe you're not taking it quite as far back, right? So the goal here is to open this chest. It's not about getting the hand back. Okay. And if you are still open in the twist, taking another breath. And then everybody, let's go ahead. Exhale. We're going to close that book. All right. And then again, let's come onto our back. Take a beat. Notice how that feels in your body. From here, we're going to roll to the side in order to push on up. And we're going to come onto, actually, before we come onto hands and knees, let's just take a seat. We'll stretch out our wrists a little bit. So you might want to sit up on a little folded blanket, or you can also sit on the edge of a firm chair. So something that gives you some firmness that you can rock to the front of the sit bones. And at the front edge of the sit bones, ground down to let your low back arch in, and then shrug your shoulders a few times. So let's circle the shoulders. So we're going to bring the shoulders forward, up, back, and down in that direction. Forward, up, back, and down. So now next time your shoulders go back and down, keep those shoulders moving back and down. Slide the shoulder blades down the back body. Imagine the buttock flush also sliding down the back body. And then gently feel your navel hug in towards the spine as it broadens and slightly lifts up. Let your collarbones broaden as well. And then breathe into your back, mid-back band, like your kidney bands, to soften the front ribs down. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and make fists with our hands, and we're going to circle the hands, the fists around the wrists. And then we're going to circle them the other way. Okay, now we make big palms. And then you're going to make fists as you point your knuckles down towards the floor. And then spin the knuckles back up to the sky and open big palms. Again, make fists and then roll the knuckles down. And then roll them back up in big palms. Good. One more time. And this time, as you roll them back up and you make the big palms, keep your right hand big and broad as you can get it. Use your left hand to bring all 5 fingers. Don't forget the thumb. Try to get that thumb as well as the other 4 fingers. And then gently press them back towards you. So now the right elbow is moving towards straight, but without locking. And then you're stretching out the underbelly of that right wrist, right forearm. Now we'll release, let the fingers point down, and now use your hands on the back of the knuckles and gently press that back. So now we're stretching out the top here. Good. And then spin that right palm to face out with the thumb pointing down. So pinky side of the hand facing up, and you use your left hand now, wrap it around the pinky side of the hand, and gently pull that back towards you. And then you're going to bring the right hand onto your heart, thumb pointing up, and bring your left hand on top. And again, just take a moment, tune into the heart. Now, use your left hand on the right hand for a little resistance as you press your right hand into the left to send the hand away from you again. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and shake that out. Release. Shrug your shoulders up and down a few times. Shake out your head. Okay, second side. So again, big palms with both hands. Now, as broaden that left palm as much as you can. And you use the right hand to get all 5 fingers, including the thumb, and gently bring it back towards you, keeping that left elbow towards straight without locking through the elbow joint. And then point the fingertips down and use the right hand to press the back of the knuckles in towards you a little bit. And breathe into that. Okay, now make a big palm with that left hand again and spin the fingers to point to the right so the thumb's pointing down and the pinky side of the hand's up. You're going to use your right hand, clasp around the pinky side of the hand, and gently pull that back in towards you a little bit and press so the hands are kind of pressing into each other for some resistance. And then you're going to spin that left hand now, thumb point up, and bring it onto the heart center. Right hand goes over the left. And again, take a beat. Breathe into the heart center here. And when you're ready, the right hand's going to press into the back of the left hand, but the left hand's stronger and it's going to push itself away out. Good. And then again, just shake it out. Keep shaking out your hands nice and vigorously like you've got water on them and you've got to get every drop of water off. Keep shaking them off. And then keep that shaking action, but turn your palms up. Yeah, so the arms are kind of like spaghetti noodles a little bit. And then shake out your elbows. And then shoulders up and down. Okay, and then wag your head, wag your tail. Open your mouth, stretch out your mouth, your tongue, your face. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and, since we're seated, let's do a little bit more here. So grounding down through the sit bones, nice and tall through the spine, whether you're seated on the chair or on the floor, as long as you're nice and tall through the spine, front of the sit bones grounded. Okay, we're gonna inhale, now sweep our arms out and up overhead. And then palm facing down. Exhale like you're French pressing. Your palms are moving through water. There's a little bit of a drag. Press it down through your center axis all the way down into the earth. Again, inhale. Take those palms to face up. Sweep them out and up. Gathering. And then exhale, bringing it down through your central axis. Down, down, down into the earth. One more time. Good. The next time you inhale, arms open out and up. We're going to exhale and spin to the right as we bring both hands down. Inhale, bring it up through center, and exhale over to the second side. Good. Inhale up, and back to our first side. This time we're staying. So now ground down and lengthen up on that inhale. And then as you exhale from the grounding, start to twist up the spine from the belly, then the diaphragm, the chest, the neck, the head, the gaze. Take a nice breath in here. So keep grounding down and lengthening up with the inhale. And it's with the exhale that we see if there's room for a little more twisting through the spine. Now keep this nice lifted heart, low back arching in. Keep the twist spinning back, but just the neck, the head, the gaze spins to look forward over your front shoulder. And then you can take your back hand now, lift it off of the floor or the chair or whatever you have, and just reach it straight out from its own shoulder, palm facing the right with the thumb pointing up. I got a wall behind me. Hopefully you don't have a wall there. Okay, then you're going to take that right arm and reach it up towards the ceiling, the sky, and start to spin the palm to face forward, shrug the shoulder blade down, and ground down through the sit bone as you reach up with that arm. And then we're going to start to side bend now towards that opposite knee. Look down at that knee, ground down through the right sit bone, reach up with the right arm. So this side's grounded and lengthening into that stretch, and then you're spinning to look down at that opposite knee. And then when you're ready, taking that lifted hand, and you're going to spin your heart to look forward as you bring the hand onto the knee. The other hand can go to the opposite knee. And then you pull the hands in towards each other, tuck your chin in towards your chest, round into your back. Breathe into the space now between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart center. And then we're going to release. Again, sweep your arms out and up overhead, inhaling. And exhaling, we spin it to the other side. So now left hand's behind us, whether it's on the floor or a chair, or if you're lifted up high and your hands don't come to the floor, have a block or something that your hand can kind of ground into. The opposite hand now, the right hand can reach for the left knee if that's available. Ground down through the sit bones, reach up through the spine, low, arch your low back in, and then start to twist up the spine with the exhale. So again, take a few rounds of breath here. As you inhale, focus on grounding in order to lengthen. Grow the length of that spine, nice and tall. As you exhale, imagine moving each vertebrae starts to slightly twist as you take the twist up the spine. So stay nice and twisted here with the navel, the heart, all spinning back. But with your next exhale, just the neck, the head, the gaze spins and looks over the front right shoulder. And then you're going to keep that action as you take your back left hand off the floor or the chair and just reach it straight out away from you, behind you. So here, like I got my palm facing the side, my thumb pointing up. And then you're going to take that arm up towards the ceiling. Now really ground down through that left sit bone. Reach up with the left arm, but shrug the left shoulder blade down the back, right? So shoulder blade down and then ground and lengthen. And now you can turn yourself, your gaze, look over down at that right knee, grounding down as you lengthen up, and do a little bit of a side bend here. And breathe. So really ground in order to lengthen through that left seam now. Now when you're ready, you're going to start to spin your heart towards the floor, bringing that hand, that lifted left hand down to the right knee. And right hand's reaching for the left knee. Again, hands on the outside of the knees, and then pull the knees in towards each other. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, round into your back body. Breathe into that space. And we're going to release. Okay, so if you're seated cross-legged like me on the floor, you can change the crossing of the leg, other leg in front or on top. If you're seated in a chair, then just make sure your knees are stacked over your ankles, right? And you're good. You're already symmetrical. Hands on each knee. We're going to rock to the front of the sit bones, glide our heart through. Exhaling, rounding back, curl your tailbone forward, crown of the head forward, round into that back. So just moving in and out in a seated cat-cow here. So breathing and moving with the breath. As we inhale, we expand the front body. And as we exhale, we Curling in the front body in order to expand the back body. Okay. And then from there, let's go. We're going to bring it onto hands and knees. So if you have sensitive knees, you can maybe still have a blanket underneath your knees. I'm going to lift the blanket off of my mat here. And then, but if I'm going to pretend like I got sensitive knees and I got a little fold in my blanket. And then I have my hands directly underneath my shoulders and my knees directly underneath my hips. Here, broaden the palm and see now if you can get the ball of your index finger mound and the thumb mound grounded onto the floor first. Hands are shoulder width apart. And get the two inner points, the index finger and the thumb mound grounded first. Make contact. Keep the contact and then you broaden the palm to bring the rest of the hand down. Now for some of us, this is too much for the wrist. Then you make fists and you just put the knuckles down and you've got a nice long line here. Okay, so from here, we're gonna cat-cow. So broaden your sit bones and slide them up. As your belly hammocks down towards the floor, keep hugging your navel up towards the spine. And then shoulder blades down the back, heart glides through, chin up, look up. Exhaling, reversing, tailbone down, kidneys inflate, chin towards the chest, crown of the head towards the floor. So moving with your own breath. Again, you might close your eyes and really sense into this action through the spine as you undulate your spine with the ebb and flow of your breath. It's a beautiful movement. Really tuning into that. It's so simple and yet so good. So good for the health of the spine. So if it's not appropriate to be on hands and knees, you know you can do this seated like we did a moment ago. You can also do this action when you're on your back. But getting some undulation of movement through the spine is so good. So try to do this a little bit each day if you can. All right. And then the next time we come to neutral, we're going to pause here. From here, we're going to keep the left hand grounded. And you're going to reach your right arm out to the right, opening your heart now to the right. And then taking that right hand and slide it down underneath the left arm. Keep the hand off the floor as you just slide the hand through. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, open. And exhale, slide the hand through. Keep it off the floor. Keep reaching it away. Now this time, inhale, open the heart. And as you exhale, let the back of the hand now touch the floor and slide it away like you're taxiing. You're landing that plane. And then you come on to the right side of your shoulder, right side of your head. Your left hand, you can slide the hand so that when you place the palm down and you press into it, the elbow is able to stack over that. And then keep reaching the right hand away from you. Breathe again into that space now between the right shoulder blade and the spine. And then we're just going to unwind out of that. So now the second side, you're going to go ahead. I'm spinning around to face you. You're going to plant your right hand down on the floor. And when you're ready, take your left arm out to the left to open that left chest up. Exhale, keep the hand off the floor as you slide it through underneath the right arm. Reach it away. 2 more times, pulsing, inhaling, exhaling, slide it through, reach it away. This time, inhale, open that chest. And as you exhale, let the back of the hand land and taxi it away on the runway. Slide it away as it comes to a stop. And now you stack. You can move your right hand so that when you press into the right hand, the elbow is able to stack over the wrist. Keep reaching the left hand away from you and breathe into that space between the left shoulder blade and the spine. So you're on the left shoulder and left side of the head on the floor. Good. And again, we're going to unwind on out of that and plant our hands back into neutral. And we're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow again. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and we're just gonna walk our hands forward. So I not quite in the right spot on my mat here. So we're going to walk our hands forward so that we can let our hips drop and we come into half plank. So now torso and thighs are nice line, one line. Lengthen your tailbone towards the knees. Shrug your shoulder blades down the back. And pause here. Hug your navel up to the spine. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Okay, so now we're going to slowly lower all the way to the belly, but keep your elbows hugging in. So try not to let the elbows wing out. Instead, hug them in towards each other. And slowly, slowly lower all the way to the belly. Once you're down, forehead down on the floor, hands are by the heart. You can have the tops of the toenails pressing into the floor, or you can curl your toes under if you prefer. Either way, think about hugging your outer ankles in, rolling your inner thighs up. Actually, let's all have the toenails down for this. So toenails down. So like you're pointing your toes away from you. And then hug your outer ankles in, roll your inner thighs up, lengthen your tailbone long, shrug your shoulder blades down the back, and start to lift the heart, back of the neck long, gazes down and slightly forward. Pressing into the front of the pubic bone. Breathe here into this little mini cobra. And then exhale, bring it down. We're going to do that just a couple more times. So when you're ready, shrug your shoulder blades down the back, lift the heart. And exhale, bring it down. Last time, re-engage those legs. So toenails into the floor, outer ankles hugging in, inner thighs rolling up, tailbone long. Lift the heart, back of the neck long. Maybe you can lift the hands off the floor, but keep the height of the heart. Without your hands, maybe you can lift a little bit higher. Breathe. And then exhale, slowly bring it back down. From here, just bend your knees, feet in the air. You can windshield wiper your feet a little side to side. Okay, and then we're gonna come into our final resting pose. So, options. You can just take a nice Shavasana on the floor with a pillow under your head. Maybe something underneath each knee. So maybe you got blocks, or maybe you got another rolled up blanket or something, or a bolster underneath your knees, right? Cover your eyes. Maybe you use your strap to cover your eyes. Anything you're not using prop-wise, move them out of the way so you feel you have room. So this nice standard Shavasana with support underneath the knees and the head. Or if you prefer to take your legs up the wall for a few moments, you can do that, in which case you walk your butt up against the wall. So you bring your sit bones right up towards the wall. So sometimes if you got tight hamstrings, the sit bones don't quite make its way to the wall, but you're just kind of walking yourself in as close as you can so that you're working towards getting the sit bones onto the wall and the legs straight up overhead. If you're taking this Viparita Karani as your resting pose, then maybe you want to have your arms in cactus. But again, if the back of the hands are hovering, then you bring the hands onto the body instead. If cactus works and you want to take your arms up overhead, you can clasp the elbows and have the arms up overhead too. So it's up to you. So taking a position that works for you, or if there's another resting pose you prefer, take what works for you and then allow yourself to settle in. As you arrive into your final resting pose, let's all take a nice deep breath in through the nose and release it out through your mouth. And we'll do that one more time. Big, big inhalation in through the nose. This time hold it for a beat at the top. As you're ready, a clearing, releasing, exhale out. And allow now everything to sink back down into the air. As you release, releasing any gripping and holding, just surrendering your weight into the earth, into gravity. Notice where your body is touching the support of the floor. And again, soften into the support. Relax your mouth and your tongue. Soften around your eyes. Bring your inner gaze to rest into your heart center. So feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as you like. When you do eventually decide to come out, move slowly and gently. Now I'm going to turn things back over to Katie, and thank you all for joining us. It's been a real joy to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat, for another wonderful session. That was really great. So give me just a moment. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the books that I selected for this week. All right, so this week's theme is self-love. So this was a really fun one to find book recommendations for. So the first one that I have here is called Everybody Yoga, Let Go of the Fear, Get on the Mat and Love Your Body by Jessamine Stanley. And this is for people new to yoga or those who are already doing it, and for practitioners of all shapes and sizes. And she really stresses how yoga isn't about how one looks, but how one feels. And the next book that I have here is called Good Vibes, Good Life, How Self-Love is the Key to Unlocking Your Greatness by Vex King, who is an Instagram guru. And I have to say, this looks like a very popular title. Many people have checked this one out. And this one draws on personal experience to help you overcome your fears, manifest your goals, cultivate personal lifestyle habits, and practice self-care. And then for our younger readers, I have this one called I Am Enough by Grace Byers for ages 3 to 7. And it's an ode to loving who you are, respecting others, and being kind to one another. So great message for every reader there. So I hope that you enjoy those recommendations, and I hope that you've enjoyed this session of Reach and Read. Thank you so much, Kat. You are a wonderful instructor. We are so happy to work with you. Thank you so much for another fantastic session. Always such a joy to work with you. So in the meantime, until our next yoga session comes around, you can sign up for a library card, find out which library is in your area, and learn about upcoming programs for all ages just by going to www.saclibrary.org. So for Kat, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well. Bye.